The way to get rid of tension is to do just the opposite of all the things that cause it.
Hello everyone, this is Hugo from Ichiban Painting, and today I'll be talking about brushes. So I want to, a lot of people ask me about brushes because, I did a lot of video about the airbrushes, but I didn't do a video about a normal brush, right? So let's get started. There's two main categories of brushes. There's artificial brushes like this one, and there's Kolinsky stable hair, which is real hair brushes, right? What's the difference between the both? These brushes here are real hair, Kolinsky hair, so which means it's horseback hair, or I don't know where they take it from the horse, but it's real hair, right? And then you have the artificial brush, which is synthetic hair on the brush. The difference between both is really easy. A Kolinsky stable hair is more expensive, but will hold its point and will hold a really nice point really longer, especially if you take care of them, compared to a synthetic brush that won't hold his hair at all. After a while, it's going to start being flat instead of pointy, and the brush is not going to be really easy to maintain a nice fine point on it. The difference is that Kolinsky stable hair, you can normally only use it with acrylic paint. If you're using a more toxic kind of paint that has to have thinners and stuff like that, the thinners and everything are going to destroy the Kolinsky hair brushes compared to the normal synthetic brush. It's gonna be alright. Like for example, this brush, I use it only for a Vallejo liquid gold range, which is a toxic paint, so that's a brush for that, so no problem with it. But if I would use a Kolinsky stable hair, I would scrap everything. So these are the two differences between a Kolinsky hair and a synthetic hair. There's also a big difference in price. A synthetic hair brush, you can get it really cheap at like $1 or even cheaper than that. And Kolinsky stable hair normally are gonna run you $10 to maybe sometime $30, or depends on the brush. It can go up really fast. Okay. Now let's move on to the Kolinsky stable hair. Why these brushes are so good? It's like I just said, they hold their point really well and really long. What I mean by point is that the tip of the brush is gonna always stay sharp if you maintain them and if you take care of your brushes, which is gonna in the end give you a little bit more precision, right? Personally, I use Winsor & Newton series number 7 brushes, okay? But this is really personal, so I'm gonna say it right now. Don't go out there and start running and go buy a Winsor & Newton number 7 just because I said so. Brushes, like I said, are personal thing. So what you should do is actually buy brushes from a couple of different companies. Da Vinci makes really good brushes. I know the heavy metal from GW are also Kolinsky stable hair, and I heard they're pretty good. I never tried those ones. I did try the Da Vinci. Why you need to try those a bunch of brushes? Because every company has different the body of the brush and the way the hair is placed and the way that they make their point is different from different company. Some of them have less hair, so they hold their point a little bit lesser than other company. Some company have a big body of hair and still a pointy tip, so they suit different style of painting. And personally, for my style of painting, when I use my brush, I think that Winsor & Newton suit my style the best. I like the way they hold their point, and I like the options that they have. Like for example, in the Winsor & Newton series, these 3 brushes here are all number 00, size 00, but 2 of them are the miniature series, which means that they have really short hair. Not long at all, and really pointy. And here's the normal number 7, which has longer hair but still has the same point. So it gives you more versatility. Even in the same size range, you still have 2 different brush that will behave differently with paint and that are going to be used for different application. So basically, you need to try them out. Okay, now tips on how to maintain your brush and you should use your brush. As you can see here, my brush are color coded. Okay, why I do this is because normally I have two brushes for different sizes here that I use only for metallic colors. Why is that? Because the flakes in the metal colors, the pigments, sometimes they stay in the brush even if you wash them really well, okay? And so when you put them in other color, it might contaminate your other colors. So I keep these brushes, and I have different separate water pot only for normal acrylic colors and metallic colors. So when I'm doing metallic colors, I use these two brushes. The other ones are for normal acrylic colors. So this is the first thing I can suggest to you, is have two different set of brushes for normal colors and metallic colors. The other thing is that when you're using your paint, right, try never to dip the brush into the paint all the way where the metal holder is, okay? Always try to keep the paint on the brush itself. Why? Because here, if the paint goes inside here, it might stay there and dry there, and then make the hair less flexible. It's gonna alternate the way the air responds, and also you can have contamination with paint here, and it's a bitch to clean here, you know, go inside there. So that if you do like to use your brush to mix your paint, then try to have a mixing brush only for mixing your paint. Once you're finished painting and you finish drying your brush, I would suggest that, that's what I do. You can either put some saliva on your fingers and then make the point pointy, or you can straight on put your brush in your mouth and lick it. That way the point is going to be really pointy, and then I would suggest that you put it back inside this little plastic thingy. That way it protects your brush and make sure that your brush is always pointy. Okay, these are the tips for your brush. As far as to how to clean them and how to maintain your brush, you can buy brush cleaners that they have in art suppliers or hobby shop. I would say, those are really good, or brush restorer, but I use normal, air products. So a good, not cheap one, right, but a good shampoo that has some natural oils in it to wash the hair and wash the brush hair. And the oils are going to restore the hair on. It's the same thing as normal hair, right? The oils are going to restore the brush hair, and then after that, once you finish washing them and rinse them, then you use a conditioner then to put on your brush and let it soak in. So you put in the conditioner on your hair and leave the brush sitting for 1 hour or 2 hours, depending if you have time. And then that way, it's going to restore the hair and give the fluff back that it needs. So you're going to be able to keep your brushes for longer. Kolinsky, the Winsor & Newton brushes are about 6 to 8 pounds to 10 pounds each. And other companies, I don't know, but the price differs from different companies and everything. Personally, now, because I know if I don't talk about it, some people are going to ask me. The sizes that I use the 3 types of 00, 2 types of 00 size, the short tip and the long tip, and I use long tip 0 brushes. These are the brush I use. I don't use bigger because I have my dry brush brushes and stuff like that, but those are for different applications, not for painting. Why is because I'm an airbrush guy, so I airbrush most of my mini. So when I go in with my brush, it's only for detail work, so I don't need to have a longer, bigger bodied brush. But if you're painting only with your brush, I would suggest you get bigger size, because if you're doing an area, if you're painting like, for example, a Space Marine chest, legs, shoulder pad, the bigger the brush you have, the less brush strokes you're bound to leave, meaning that if I have this brush, I'll have to go and pass many times to cover. If I'm covering this area in between my brushes now, I'm gonna have to pass so many times here to cover the whole area. Compare that if I have a larger brush, then I can do it in maybe 2 strokes on each side. So which means that the less time I spend brushing an area, the less brush strokes I'm bound to leave on that area. So you should definitely check your sizes and check your painting style, but brushes are really, really, really personal choice. But it comes down to, do you want to invest for a good Kolinsky stable hair, or you want to go in with a synthetic hair brush that's gonna not last you 2 weeks, and then you're gonna have to change it anyway because it's cheap. So this is what I had to say about brushes. I really hope you enjoy it. Next video is gonna be about my studio, because a lot of people asked me to, they wanted to see and know what my setup was like, so I'm gonna make you guys visit my studio. So this was Hugo from Ichiban Painting, and I'll see you on the next video.